Recently, it was my joy to entertain the good folks at the Oaks at Acworth. Anna did a great job of organizing it and getting the people ready for me. I usually begin with a song from back in the day. I'm praying for rain in California, so the grapes can grow and they can make more wine. And I'm sitting in a honky in Chicago with a broken heart and a woman on my mind. I'm asked the man behind the bar for the jukebox, and the music takes me back to Tennessee. When they ask who the fool is in the corner crying, I'll say, the little old wine drinker me. I came here last week from down in Nashville, 'cause my baby left for Florida on a train. I sometimes advertise myself as a stand-up at my age as a sit-down comedian. Have a wonderful wife named Kay, Ruby Kay. They say the opposites attract. She and I are the exact opposite, where I'm kind of loud over the top, saying maybe jokes right there. She's very, very quiet. Every now and then I'm going to stop and I'm going to pause. I'm going to kind of look around and there's a stutter, and you're going to think, Ron Greene has forgotten what to say. You'll be correct. You'll be correct on the same day Hillary Clinton takes a polygraph and the machine does not burst into the flame. Let's be equal. You'll be correct on the day Donald Trump called a press conference and said, I made a mistake. The fact of the matter is, I have a speech impediment. I stutter. Runs in our family. I have two cousins. And when we get together for a family reunion, it takes us 20 minutes just to say, hello, how are you? Now, what brought me to Cartersville in 1976 was to open a crown and bridge dental lab. We made crown and bridge. Gold crown, porcelain crown. One Monday morning, Dr. Smith's office called and she said, Ron, it's going to be necessary to remake the gold crown of a certain patient. Wait a minute. When the doctor was putting it in, he dropped it and she swallowed it. We started the 4-day process of remaking gold crown. Well, the very next day, about 30 hours later, she called and said, Ron, it isn't necessary to finish the crown. She found it. What do you mean she found it? Ron, you've heard the acid test. Gold's impervious to acid. She found it. So I guess we can title that story, She Struck Gold in Her Toilet Bowl. I'll just say it like this. My wife would make a perfect parole officer. She never lets me finish a sentence. The last sentence I finished, what I heard interrupt me, was when I said, I do. Midnight, one more night without sleeping, watching till the morning comes creeping. Green door, what's that secret you're keeping? There's an old piano and they play it hot behind the green door. Don't know what they're doing, but they laugh a lot behind the green door. Wish they let me in so I could find out what's behind the green door. Not once
tried to tell them I've been there. Door slammed, hospitality's been there. Wonder just what's going on in there. Saw an eyeball peeping through a smoky cloud behind the green door. When I said Joe sent me some, was laughing out loud behind the green door. All I wanna do is join the happy crowd behind the green door. Yeah. Midnight, one more night without sleeping, watching till the morning comes creeping. Green door, what's that secret you're keeping? Green door, what's that secret you're keeping? Green door.
How many of y'all remember that? Where our house is to the CSX Railroad switching yard is about 1.5 to 2 miles. At 5 a.m. in the morning, when the humidity is just right and the school buses and traffic haven't started on the road, we can hear a train whistle as the engineers communicate with each other. The other day I woke up and Kay had a back to me. I just reached over and touched her back. And a train went, so I just touched her again. Another train went, let's go for 3 for 3. Another train went, Kay rolled over and sat up and said, Ron Greene, what are you doing? And I said, Kay, every time I touch you, somewhere in the world a train blows its whistle. She said, I'm trying to sleep. You touch me one more time, and I'm going to keep you so hard in your caboose, your little train's going to jump the track. For this joke to work, I need some audience participation. Okay, it's very simple. I'm not making a fool out of anyone, I promise. When I point to you, I want you to ask the question. 7 words. Did y'all ever go on a date? Did you hear that, Anna? Did y'all ever go on a date? Here's the setup. When I was in high school, there was a girl who I loved so much, every time I passed her locker, I kissed it.
Did y'all ever go on a date?
No, Anna, it was bolted to the wall. Isn't that corny? That is so corny. That's so corny, you can pop popcorn with it. Fell down and busted my lip. Banana peel made me slip. I got a big bump on my head. Just put me back to bed. Rub me down with Bengay. Bengay, Bengay. I kiss my wife, it gives me a thrill. But she keeps asking me about my will. My kids never come to see me. I'm in a bad shape, don't you agree? Just rub me down with Bengay, Bengay, Bengay. My body aches everywhere, and I'm starting to lose my hair. I don't exercise quite enough, so when I walk I just huff and puff. Rub me down with Bengay. I did a show in Mudcloud 2 years ago, and I sat down next to a lady, had a little break, and I gave her a business card, I always promote myself, and she said, my name is Becky or whatever. I said, are you the wife of the mortician? She said, Ron, I'm wife number 4. This is about 25 years ago. And I didn't say a word about the next 5 minutes. She said, one Saturday morning, the mortician and I were lying in bed, watching the news, reading the paper, and our kids were grown and gone, just us. And the door opened directly under our bedroom, at least to the outside. I heard it. I know he heard it. He didn't say a word. Pretty soon I began to smell cooking, bacon, coming up in my kitchen. And then I heard somebody come up the steps, and the door opened, and in walked Teresa, our beautiful, half our age, next door neighbor. She went around to the mortician's side bed. He scooted over towards me. She got in, looked at me, and she said, "Becky, I've always admired your kitchen, and I'm not going to change a thing." 2 days later, the mortician and Teresa filed for divorce from their respective spouses, and she became wife number 5. So I guess we can conclude that there was more than coffee brewing between Teresa and the mortician. He does one thing that I've never heard of another mortician do. He makes hospital visits. When he finds out a relative or a friend of former customers in the hospital, he visits them. Now think about this now. Nobody goes to the hospital because of bills, right? You're crazy. You don't take vacations. Where'd you spend your vacation? At Brady Memorial Hospital, you know? So let's just picture Ron Greene. I'm in the hospital. Kay is there. The kids are there. The doctor has just left. The preacher has just left. And there's a tap, tap, tap on the door. And in walks the mortician. I'm serious. I'm serious with a stroke. I've had a stroke very serious. He greets everybody with a warm handshake. Then he pulls up a chair and talks to the patient very quietly. He always brings a live potted plant. Tucked away in that plant is his business card. On the flip side of that card is a handwritten poem. I'm praying for your health with your family soon you'll be. But if that's not his will, have your body sent to me. Attend to it with my own hand. Just tell your folks I'm not a magician. I'm only a man. People love him, man. I'm serious. If he doesn't visit him in the hospital, the old timers especially, they'll get mad at you somebody. Crazy, man. Cousin Charlie's funeral. We've all heard the term, someone marching to the beat of a different drummer. Well, Cousin Charlie was truly that way. I lost track of it. We got news here a while back that Cousin Charlie passed away. So I put on my very best Sunday go to meeting suit, made the 6-hour drive from Cartersville to North Florida. It took me forever to find the funeral home. It was as if they did not want to be found. Finally I found it. I knew it was over. Finally I found it. Small funeral home is one chapel. So I signed Charlie Johnson, Acworth. So I walked down. Her voice is coming from behind pocket door. So I opened the pocket door. And I had 60 sets of eyes looking at me. Until I opened those doors, I had no idea Cousin Charlie was a member of a nudist colony. It takes a lot to make Ron Greene stop talking, okay? Well, I was dumbfounded, man. I was catatonic. I was just standing there. What brought me going to, okay? So with that, I left. Then I noticed the name of the funeral. I said, Ron Greene, you've done it. Should have known something crazy. Name of it was the Bear Brothers, B-A-R-E, Bear Brothers Cremation and Mortuary Services. We send you out like you came in, wearing nothing but your birthday skin. I make my annual visit to my urologist. I had no idea that since my last visit, he had been going to medical school, and he got another degree. He was now a combination of a psychiatrist and a urologist. So after a thorough examination, he asked, well, Mr. Greene, tell me exactly how you do. I said, Doctor, that just depends on which end you're referring to. She got in the car one Sunday after church, slammed the door, looked me in the eye and said, Ron, I'm so angry. First thought that went through my mind was, how is she about that? Well, what are you angry about? Do you know what Brother Howard did? This happened about 17 years ago. Brother Howard was a greeter at the back door of the church, shaking hands with everybody. What Brother Howard did? He extended his hand, I extended mine, he pulled it up and gave me a kiss right there. Ron, what was he thinking? I know exactly what he was thinking. What? Precious memories, how they linger, how they ever flood my soul. I'm serious, I'm not embellishing this at all. She said, Ron, married men don't look at married women with also kissing them. I was flabbergasted. I thought she was dropping a one-liner on me. I said, it's crazy. I said, Kay, single men look at single women with thoughts of kissing them. Of course they do. But I mean, you said the first time I met you, I was attracted to you physically, just looking at you, you know. And then I said, if that were true about married people, there would be no